Hello. Jessie Redmond Fawcett. That's her right there. She is one of the most prominent persons of the Harlem Renaissance. You probably never heard of her, but she is an author. She was an author. She wrote in publications as well as books, novels, short stories, that type of thing. And she was instrumental in promoting a lot of the artists that we have heard of, the authors that we have heard of, such as Langston Hughes, um, uh, what's that Toombs person's first name? Jean Toomer. I'm sorry, Jean Toomer and Claude McKay for some of them. And she was very well educated. She had her master's, and I believe that she taught. Was it at Berkeley? Oh no, she taught at Fisk, I believe, for a summer. I'll have to check that, but I think that she did teach at Fisk, and this was back in 1919. Sisters were getting very well educated back then. It never really went out of style that much. You know what I mean? But yeah, she was very well educated and wrote and edited. Was an editor for many publications. Promoted artists, promoted authors. She used to host these parties. She was born in New Jersey, raised in Philadelphia, and she lived in Harlem around 142nd Street and 7th Avenue. And she used to host parties for the Black elite. And if you were an up and coming author or, poet or artist of some sort, and you wanted to get into one of her parties, you had to speak French. She required that you speak French in order to attend her parties. And I really love that about her. She just, in not even knowing her, she still required you to step up your game and learn. And it was a big deal to be invited to her parties because she was hobnobbing with the best. Like I said, Langston Hughes and all the others, W.E.B. Du Bois. She knew them all. So, yeah, if you wanted to get into one of her parties, you had to speak French. So, this is her book, one of her books that she wrote, Plum Bun. This version is a Forgotten Books reprint, and it was very large, large print. I mean, maybe now I need large print. I don't know, but when I first got the book, I thought it was kind of funny. I didn't know it was going to be large print, but it's very good, and it takes you back to that time. You really do get a feel for life in that era. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. I don't want to give any kind of spoilers, but it's a book about passing. Um, an artist, and it was based in Philadelphia. Most of her novels were based in Philadelphia on the middle class Black families of Philadelphia. That's primarily who she wrote about. So I definitely recommend that. There is no movie of this particular book, but I was trying to think of a movie that might give a sort of similar feel to it. There are some movies about passing. The only one I could really think of is I Passed for White, which is made in 1960, and I do recommend it. That was a good movie. It Again, it's not based on this, so the stories are not similar, but it was the only one I could think of that sort of gave a bit of the same feeling at times. You know what I mean, with the angst about being caught and all that type of thing. So yeah, that's it. Plum Bun, Jessie Redmond Fawcett. That's her right there. And yeah, thank you for listening. I hope you stick around for the next part, and I hope you found it informative. All right, thanks.